Next up is Ilona Quinn. I gotta say, honestly, I've only heard her read one poem, and that's her feature at Stone Soup a few months ago. But the poem was the whole feature, and it lasted about 20 minutes, and it was quite a courageous act. I don't know what she's reading tonight, but you're in for a real treat. Come on up, Ilona.
I have been reading with Stone Soup and looking forward to reading it tonight. Am I at the right distance from the mic?
Perfect.
First poem is called Edward Hopper. In the cavern of the museum, I came upon your wanderers at rest in lemon-colored light, your woman in the drained hours, your cafeteria before the dawn. In the Museum of Modern Art, near the school on West 54th Street, where I was given one last chance of making college in the fall, your nighthawks, your Sunday morning, gave to me your sense of things, and there, inside my loneliness, I found a lost dimension. Had your woman been waiting long before she knew he wouldn't come? Had she too believed his promises made before his letters stopped? And did she hear a tender word from the cook who sponged the counter just beyond the painting's frame? You formed a frame around my life, and I kept the sense you gave and found in print shops all the way from Florida to Harvard Square. For when that winter fell upon New York, like the hand of a dead man, I rode out an emptiness, because it seemed you walked with me among the stones. This is called Night Shift Out of Quincy Adams' Ambulance. He was no longer as young or as handsome as he wanted to be, and I could tell it made him angry, the way he cleared the Southeast Expressway of its 5 p.m. commuter cars. Riding shotgun with him, I watched him toss his head in laughter, jamming on the siren switch. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You should have seen those shiny mothers move their chrome-plate asses towards the right-hand lane. Watched him flip the stereo knob and Bongo beat the steering wheel, and again he flicked the siren switch to wail the whistles, yelp, and whoop. And in my own uncadenced spaces, I felt my blood begin. The laughter wasn't from his eyes, but still the swagger for the waitresses, girls who didn't blink back anymore as they wrapped our meatball subs. George at the base didn't like him. In the end, he saw that he got fired. What did he do, I said, and George said, what? He was trouble. You know he boozed and sheared the side of your mirror off and hassled the carny nurses. Jesus Christ, ain't that enough? Complaints, said George. We got complaints. Some of us do drugs and drink. Some take young lookers where we can. Some leave our metronome of days to slash the blanket night with sound. He was trouble all the way, said George, but I, enraged by silences, had delighted in his madness. And that last night out of Quincy Adams, we waited in the station bunk, and the scanner box spit sparks of sound, and we held each other through the night. Thanks. I wrote this poem a while back about my father, and I'd like to dedicate this reading of it tonight to my friend Maureen. The North Light. In the house where we lived when I was a child, the room my father chose for his studio had to be in a certain fall of light. Now the truth of the light where we meet, you and I, is determined by time and the chances of touch, a balance of words and the glance of an eye. by the lilt and the cadence of what we will tell. It was the north light that fell on his easel, his scratchboard, the whispering lines of his pen, his radio, music. He worked while he whistled and hummed. But sometimes he'd hear the birds' frenzied calls, and he'd stop in the midst of sonata or fugue and rush to the window from his light to chase the cat from the chattering trees. And I would hear the birds grow quiet again, and the cat come crashing down through the leaves. We can steady this uncertain light where we meet, with the rise and the fall of the stories we tell, with the lilt and the cadence of careful recall. If you tell of your search, of the way that you wept for a light that you lost, and I of my father's gentle heart that ruined other men for me. And how I can't forget the way in which the north light falls or fell upon his final sketch, when weak and pale with illness then, my mother grazed his trembling hand, and all that day, brush stroke by stroke, they finished his work in the light from the north. And now I've learned that nothing begins that way. Words and tongue are what we have, and no matter where they lead in the end, it will be a place where the light falls true. This poem is called Letter. Greetings, love, from Florida. Surprise, surprise. I'm here now with a gentler man who calls me Little Bear and pretty, and helps me with my school bills, though his car needs a radiator and his new apartment's incomplete. The hot wind's on the balcony, and it plays about my face and hair until the far-off thunder rolls across the sky which bursts with rain and cracks apart with lightning. I can study here in the sweep of heat and think about this gentle man who whispers in the jungle night that he could die of loving me, and absent from his handsome face is the anger that so darkened yours. I remember how you said to me, what you see is what you get. Over and over you said it, what you see is what you get, and you never lied to me. Yet I tried to brave that certain force, the crest and deepening of the waves that rose in the current of your blood, your father's blood running you. The tug of love could hold me here, where the heavens are emptying of rain, where palm leaves brush the open sky and blur the reach of distant roads. Yet, sometimes heat, that jungle beast, comes stalking and lays down with me, lays heavy on my belly, breath, and swells and stiffens, and its throb finds the rhythm of my pulse. Then I recall your stubborn blood, the rise and fall of your blood, and the way you could not love me.